So with this, can I invite Dr. Suresh Kumar to speak, please?
Chairman of the session, my fellow panelists, faculty members from various institutions across the state, a very good afternoon to you all. When I saw the invite and when I went through the panelists, right, too many industries and very few representations from academia. And when the topic was about innovation, I know or expected how the industry will look at us, right? Look at us, and what kind of comments, feedbacks will be made. And my presentation has been prepared based on those lines. So I give you two assurances. The first one is there is no pictures in my presentation. The second one is, what is that we can do to address these expectations of the industry? With this, I'll take next 10 to 15 minutes of my time. What is happening in academia? This has been discussed right from the morning, and I just capsulized this without listening to any of the presentation. Because these comments has been made decades, more than a decade, and even when I was doing my college days, the same kind of comments has been given. Promoting innovation in academia is challenging, but I can give you one thing, it's quite interesting. What we do a lot of extensive researches is happening, and that too in basic research area. Converting the basic research into applications or applied research or innovative ideas is very limited. Usually the innovations are focused as final year projects. Even though we have some technologies, innovations, we focus on technologies rather than for user-driven markets, whether this technology or the product can be acceptable in the market as it is, how it is, or whether we have to make any modifications. As the speaker rightly mentioned, we have a lot of MOUs, but the industry linkages, there's a gap between the industry expectation and the academia performance. And people are talking about multidisciplinary projects, medical electronics. Electronics in medical is one example which the BIRAC officer has mentioned about. And this is the need of the hour. Right. These are the challenges that has been put across or put before us, and what as an educational institution we can do in addressing these challenges. We have to build an innovation ecosystem. And the previous session chairman was mentioning about give me one individual the contact point, but here my point is it is not about the individual. We have to institutionalize the innovation ecosystem. The innovation ecosystem in the campus has to be institutionalized. It should not be like a project mode, it should be like a process. If you want to make any initiative in the institution to be successful beyond your expectation, make that initiative to be run by the students. And that too, if you're talking about innovation, it should be a student-driven process or a student-driven initiative so that your targets can be achieved very easily. Grooming towards innovation. It's about decision thinking, it's about innovation thinking. A lot of jargons are coming up. So we have to groom towards our students towards innovation thinking, and this can happen through face-to-face training, online training, or deployment of ICT tools, or some kind of engagements that Hitachi has created with the educational institutions. Awards and recognition. Every institution has awards and recognition. We give Best Innovation Award, we give Best Student Project Award. What is beyond the awards and recognition? I went through a study which has been done by National Innovation Foundation, which is one of the premier organizations which promotes innovation in the country, which gives away the awards in the name of Gandhian Technology Young Innovators Award. Right? So the study reveals that most of the award winners have moved to jobs after receiving the awards. What happened to the awardees? And it has been a study and it is available in public. Right? And why they have moved, it is not about the awards and recognition. Awards and recognitions are required to motivate the students or an individual, but we have to look as an education institution beyond that. And what is that a student community or an innovator community expects beyond awards and recognition is mentoring, handholding, funding, and incubating. Mentoring, handholding, funding, and incubating. And the reasons why the awardees have moved away is not only about mentoring level, it's about non-availability of funding. Startup ecosystem is missing in the campus. To support startups, an ecosystem is missing in the campus, and because of that, awardees have moved for higher education or they have joined the companies for jobs. The third thing is the industry association. We have to leverage the industry association. Today, people are talking about knowledge economy and IP economy. Whatever the smart cities, the robotics, the presentation has been shown, or about the healthcare, it all talks about IP economy or the knowledge economy today. And today we have a lot of market-driven opportunities. Innovations with market-driven opportunities and services have a lot of potential. And what kind of challenges that industries are facing today? Right, they are expecting us to do. Why they are expecting us to do all these kind of activities is they have to come up, right? The examples of Kodak, the examples of other companies is they have to come out with new products and new services very often to sustain their market share. If they want to come out with the new products and new services, their in-house R&D is not sufficient to do it. The gestation period of any R&D is more, and any industry is looking at reducing their gestation period, and that leads to the germination of a new concept called Open Innovation Network, where they try to take innovations from the external world and try to implement it as quick as possible in their industry so that they can overcome or beat the market or the competitions. These are some of the competitions, right? How the industry reaches to the innovators. These are some of the competitions, very few competitions. If you browse, you can see hundreds of industry competitions that are available scouting for innovations. It's very few. Like Intel Embedded Challenge, most of the institutions would have participated in that. ICICI Trinity. ICICI Bank is conducting a technology competition to take technologies in banking solutions. Right. Texas Instruments Innovation Challenge Program, Mahindra Rice, Microsoft have come up with Imagine Cup. Right? Even Saint-Gobain Glass, they have come up with innovation challenge in the construction building. So if you browse, if you look for the industry challenges, we have a lot of opportunities that industry has thrown before academia. But how the contest has to be done? The contest has to be done not on the context basis. It has to be done in an engagement model. Right from the day you announce the industry announces the competition, the day when an student or a team registered with an abstract online, the engagement between the industry and the students over that abstract has to happen. Unless otherwise it happens, right, the success or the outcome or the impact of the competition cannot be measured. Right? So we believe on contest may be on engagement model. Sorry. Create engagement opportunity with the student and the institutions throughout the process. I was happy to see the presentation of our chairman that how Hitachi is engaging for about 6 to 8 months of the time with the institution, to institution, and they are planning to expand it. This is what I have prepared in my presentation. Mentoring by industry and academia for the selected abstract throughout the process. Creating partnership with the external organization, networking. Right? If you don't network today, right, when you're talking about a lot of smart cities and other concepts, within the in-house infrastructure or the resources that we have, we'll not be able to build the things. So we have to move out of the campus and we have to network with other institutions too. So it's few examples. Some of the institutions have created this engagement model. Intel Embedded Challenge, once they have been selected, they give kits to the students to develop the product. ICICI Trinity, once the abstract has been selected, right, they nominate one executive from the ICICI Bank, and they are continuously engaging with the student community over phone. The executive sits in Bombay, the student sits in Coimbatore. And they have weekly meetings or over teleconferencing and things like that, where students also made to realize how important is their contribution. Right? The industry makes them to feel that your contribution is more important. And they invite them to Bombay, had a 2 days of mentoring session, face-to-face session, before making the students to make a final presentation. Once the final presentation has been done, once they got through, they give the funding to develop the prototype development. So this kind of industry engagement, hand-holding right from the idea stage to the prototype development stage, if industry is able to give it, and when the institution is going to build the innovation ecosystem as an institutional activity, things will become easier. What are the policy interventions? How many fellowships that we have for the innovations? We have talked about industry, we have talked about contest, we have talked about our own internal ecosystem. Some of the policy interventions. How many fellowships that we have for innovations, and that too from industry side? How many fellowships that we have from the government side for innovations? Right? We have to look at increasing the number of fellowships from the industries, not only in terms of internships. I'm talking about the financial support that has been given to the students to do some innovative ideas. Importance of intellectual property among students. We are talking about ideas. We are talking about innovation. We are talking about taking innovations from academia. But are we aware about the IP today? Whether our institution have an IP ecosystem or an IP policy. If your idea has been shared to the industry, right? If a faculty and a group of students have been involved in developing the idea, and even one idea has been acquired by the industry, what kind of IP sharing is happening? To what extent we have that knowledge, right? So what is that we have to look as creating an IP policy in the institutions if an innovative idea should go outside the campus. Policy in terms of marks and attendance, right? A couple of years before, the government of Kerala has announced a policy. The students, if they are involved in innovation and startup, 20% of attendance will be given and 4% of marks will be given in their academia. It has been announced as a policy. And that 4% is not been given at one go. Right? If they are at an idea stage, 1% mark will be given. If they have come out with a prototype, another 2 per mark will be increased by 1 more percent. So these kind of policy interventions from the government side would also be helpful for the students to get motivated and the institutions to build this ecosystem. And focusing on technology commercialization. We are talking about startups, but how many technologies can be commercialized? And today, I had read a news that 16 faculty members are having stake in the startups from IIT Chennai. Faculty members running startups. That is happening in IIT Bombay, IIT Chennai. If we are gearing up, it will also happen in our institution. Even if not next year, it will happen in next 5 to 10 years. But we have to prepare ourselves, gear ourselves. If something is happening in Chennai, it will not take too much of time to bring that kind of culture to Coimbatore. Innovation ecosystem through public-private academia partnership. Government also plays an important role to strengthen this, and a lot of schemes are there. One of the scheme, which the BIRAC scheme, has about 4 or 5 schemes has been mentioned by the officer, and if you look at on all those 4 or 5 schemes, you have the university can also be a partner. Faculty can also be a partner, the institute can also be a partner, and government will be a partner in terms of giving funding. Right? So what are the other departments? Department of Scientific and Industrial Research has some partners. And a new scheme has been launched by TIFAC, Department of Science and Technology, called MSME Internship, TIFAC Internship Scheme, where they give funding for the students to get placed in the company, come out with a solution for the industry, and for the product development expenditure that has been involved. So institutions can focus on leveraging this kind of schemes. So having said that, what is that we have done? We have created an incubation facility, right, PSG STEP, which I represent. We have created a student body called Student Research Council, which focuses on innovation, research, ideas, and things like that. We have strengthened our innovations through alumni association between the institution. We have created a student project funding scheme with the support from Alumni Association. Alumni has been kind enough to give about 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs to create a fund out of which we are supporting the student innovations. Based on the inputs, we have created our own challenges. We have localized it. Based on the input that we got it from ICSC Trinity with other institutions, we tried to localize it, adapt it to our environment, and last year we have launched 2 initiatives. One is with Bosch, PSG Bosch Challenge Program, and very recently we have launched a program with Precall. It's called Precall PSG Nano Challenge. And internship, we have been identified as one of the agency by, one of the institution by TIFAC to implement the MSME TIFAC internship scheme. Protecting IP, the IP policy has been kept in place, and MOUs has been signed between NRDC, Intellectual Ventures, and many other IP companies. So it is in a nutshell, what is that we have to do? Somebody has talked about, Anand has been talking about having innovation cell in the campus. Right, look at having innovation hubs and innovation cell in the campus. Try to establish technology transfer offices so that it would be easy for you to negotiate with the industry about IP and other implications. Engagement with industries to promote open innovations, and revisit your internship models. This is what I have with me to share with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, Dr. Suresh Kumar. I think we have overshot the time that was allocated for all of us. Is there time for a Q&A or? Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a great session. I think because of since we are running out of time, the speakers are available over tea. You can have your questions directly asked to the speakers while they are available here. So thank you so much. I think we should give a big round of applause to 4 of them, mainly to keep us awake and make